the final weekend for MotoGP. It's back to Spain and Valencia for the Valencian Grand Prix. It has been one of the best, but it all comes down to this as well. Because in the Riders' Championship, Pepe Bagnaia is on 258 points. 23 points back is Fabio Quartararo. 2 points would clinch it for Bagnaia, but as we've seen here many a time in the past, it is easier said than done. Strap yourself in for the Valencia Grand Prix title decider. Hello everybody, welcome to Free Practice 4, and it's going underway in about 7 minutes time. Now before we get going, this is Suzuki's last weekend in the Premier class, and BT Sport have prepared a tribute for them.
Marvellous! Maverick Viñales wins the British Grand Prix for Suzuki. Oh, Rins gets it on the line! On the line! Unbelievable! Today is all about Joan Mir and Suzuki. Joan Mir takes the World Championship, the first in 20 years for Suzuki. Alex Rins in Suzuki's final season of MotoGP is going to win the Australian Grand Prix.
Super emotional this last race here in Valencia with Suzuki, with the team Suzuki, no? So let's try to enjoy. Let's try to do what we know to do, and that's it. I mean, let's give a good show to the fans, to all the people that come here to support us, and yeah, I will try to enjoy.
This is the last dance, let's say. Special motivation to finish the season in the best way, because with a good result, if I put all together, I know that what I'm capable to do. That is fighting for the victory.
I will take all the moments we spend with the team, all the good moments, the victories, the things I learned with them. I would like to finish with a good result, with a podium result. I don't know if it's possible because the level right now is quite high. The Ducati's guys are going so fast. So yeah, let's try to give our 100%, and then if I give my 100%, I'm happy.
You're the last one to deliver a world title for Suzuki. How proud does that make you?
Well, the goal when I started this challenge in 2019 was this one, no? I will never forget it, and if we are able to say goodbye with a great result, this is the most important thing that now I have on the mind.
So there it is, the Suzuki story, and it comes to an end this weekend, and a man who was pivotal in bringing the Suzuki back, the World Championship with Joan Mir, Davide Brivio joining us this weekend. It's lovely to see you, Davide. You were watching those shots. It's very emotional. It must be quite sad for you to see the team bowing out.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's a mixed feeling, no, this weekend, because normally it's a pleasure to come to MotoGP, to see the friends, to see the people, to see the guys who work together. But today, this weekend, it's a different atmosphere. I mean, the guys are okay, try to keep the atmosphere fine, but everybody knows that Monday will be completely different, no, for them. So, but anyway, watching the video, you can realize it's been a great story, no? Somehow, the whole Suzuki history, and also somehow, I think Suzuki brand has always had something special, no? Around for maybe the history, for Barry Sheene, for Kevin Schwantz, for whatever. It's always been somehow a little bit special, and of course I'm very happy that I've been a part of that for some time, and yeah, it's coming to the end, and okay, it's a pity.
It is. We have to hope that they will come back again, I suppose, in the future, don't we? Sylvain, you've played your part as well in the team, you know, testing, and it's been your family as well as it was Davide's family for some time. It's just sad that they're leaving, but some great memories from your side.
Oh yes, of course. Yeah, I think Susie's trying to make us cry, Davide. It feels emotional, you know. It feels emotional having Davide here as well, because the man at the very heart of that project to start with was you, Davide. You put these people all together, and you created what, you know, people would not argue against this, what is one of the best team ever. You know, it is true, Davide.
Okay.
You know, the atmosphere, the
You're
family
very kind.
atmosphere. We talk about family atmosphere in teams, and over my career, I've been, you know, part of many different teams. This MotoGP team that you've built has been very special, and it was a great honor, and it was great that because of you again, I was part of the adventure for the last 5 years. So yeah, it's been an incredible experience, you know, personally as a rider, as part of a strong team, and we've shared some great emotions all together, ups and downs. So it is a little bit sad, but there is something about the experience as well, something about that story that was created, and now it's closing, and it feels like, it almost feels like, you know, the main goal, like Joan Mir said, was to go and win the title, and this has been done. So in a way, it doesn't feel like we're just, you know, leaving on a. The story's been kind of closed with that title and that win, and the goals were reached. So I don't know. We'll have to hope that Suzuki can come back, because it's such an iconic brand. But
an iconic brand, and we know how good the team has been, and even in Phillip Island we saw that incredible victory from Alex Rins, and the bike looked great. Alex looked great. Just to move it forward perhaps slightly, this obviously left everybody without a job, Davide. I mean, you were already you'd already left and you know, gone to Alpine at Formula One, but there are key people, key personnel in Suzuki that then become free. One of those is Tom O'Kane, who's moving to Yamaha. So what will Yamaha be getting in Tom O'Kane? Because his technical brilliance is exceptional, isn't it?
Yeah, he has been exceptional. He has been part of the team before until 2011, when they retired for the first time, and then we immediately call him back when we restarted in 2013. So he worked also a lot with Sylvain on development, and especially at the beginning, he was a key on developing the bike when we were going testing, and then he worked with Alex, and then, I mean, for his skill, he worked on a special project, which helped us to analyze data and to understand more what was going on, other than working on a test team. So test team was one part of his job in the recent years. So he has been one of the important men in the project, and I think Yamaha can probably get a slightly different way of working, I think.
Yeah, because they need some help at the moment with that bike, don't they?
I think somehow the MotoGP is quite changing a lot in these last 3-4 years. Of course, we see now the dominance, let's say, of the European manufacturer like Ducati, Aprilia, and I think soon we will see also KTM. And this is not a coincidence. I mean, I think it's a part of a new working system they apply, using the new tools, the new technology. And this is where I feel the Japanese, they remain behind. It's not just maybe, okay, they might have the engine not so fast in Yamaha, maybe the bike difficult to ride in Honda, but also I feel their way to work is not, for what I can see from outside, so I'm not inside, so I might be wrong, but the way of work is not up to date to the new MotoGP system.
That's interesting, and you do have incredible experience.
I think Sylvain has been a witness of that. No, when you need engineers behind analyzing data, the performance engineers group. We also had the video system to analyze the data. It's the only way to analyze the competitor, going and filming. So we established some system to go much more in detail and try to understand. When you try a swing arm and it doesn't work, you want to understand why. And sometimes in a motorcycle, it's more like you rely on a feeling of the rider, and sometimes that's it. But we try to go. So I think the Japanese manufacturer has the room of improvement on this, following what I think Ducati, Aprilia, and KTM are doing, which is maybe more inspired by the Formula One, I would say.
Yeah, with the aero. And
Yeah.
you need that power and aero in MotoGP now, don't you?
Yeah, the aero is one side, but also I'm thinking about, like I say, data analysis, try to understand why something happened, or try to understand why something is not working. In a motorcycle, it's much more complicated than cars, I think, because there's many things are difficult to measure, while on a car, you can measure almost everything. You have 4 wheels on the ground. In a bike, you have so many variables, no? The bike has movement.
This is why it's so difficult to make a simulator, for example, for the bikes.
Exactly.
The simulators for bikes are not very good. They're not very real, as in for cars. You can create a great simulation.
The green
That
light is
right.
on, by the way,
It
just
is
so they won't
difficult
stop
to understand
talking.
all those parameters, which the rider is a big part of it. You know, his body position and how you move. And the manufacturers in Europe, they have been more reactive. They're more reactive. They take more risks, and it's paying off at the moment. So, yeah, the conservative approach probably of the Japanese manufacturer needs to change a little bit. It is changing though. I mean, we've seen Honda now with the swing arm, with Kalex, with the arrows, they're copying a little bit and trying to be reactive. So, you know, it's changing, but I 100% agree with you, Davide. You know, this way of working is new to them, so they have to adapt.
Yeah, exactly.
It's been absolutely fascinating. Listen to all of that. You've definitely given us some food for thought to talk about afterwards. Davide Brivio, thank you for everything you did with Suzuki. We loved watching it all, and we wish you all the very best, and let's hope that Suzuki
Thank you very much, and let's enjoy the last weekend.
Exactly that. Thank you very much.
Ciao.
Thanks, Sylvan, and let's head over to our comms boys who are probably chomping at the bit now. Neil has joined Michael and Gav.
Free practice is underway then here, and it's a 30-minute freebie session as well. Track temperature is at 31 degrees, ground as well. Air temperature is at 23, humidity at 21% as well as we are underway. First lap times just coming in now then as well. Jorge Martina, 131.737. Not as good as Miller's 129 though we saw this morning. That'll automatically put him through into the next stages of qualifying. Lap time cancelled already for the number 10 of Luca Marini for exceeding track limits. So there's something going on down there that we need to keep an eye on going forward. Bagnaia just coming across the line now out of the last corner at turn 14. And crossing the line as of 132.457 goes into fourth place. As Susie mentioned, Michael Abberty is in the commentary box with Neil Hodgson and Gavin Emmett. Good afternoon, chaps.
Hours on something like this. Obviously I'm exaggerating at that, but it's a lot for the test riders to do, and then it's like, yeah, but we know it works, we know it's better, let's wait, let's just wait we don't want a failure, because it could look embarrassing for our brand,
And that's always been the thing,
the issue.
They're always
more reserved with their
it's
approach.
like the brand, isn't it? It's that look of, yeah, we don't want this to look bad on us. When did you ever hear of an engine problem, so on and so forth? And how many times have you seen in the past with the Aprilias, with the Catis, you'll see engine blurps, you see all that. But you know what? It's worked, hasn't it, to where they've got to today. Some sort of problem for Fabio Quartararo, Michael. He was looking on his outlet, wasn't he?
Yeah, what's happened?
The left-hand side of his bike. Any idea what that was?
Yeah, something wasn't pleasing him on his left footrest or gear lever. He looked out several times. I don't think he was changing his boot or anything. I think he had something a little bit wrong there. So yeah, give his crew a quick signal to get back out there.
Yeah, something to do with the bike, as Michael was talking about as well. So something's happened to the actual bike, but it looks to be okay, which is great news as well. Bagnaia had a stellar middle sector as well. It was a 45.314 as they come up towards the line. Is it going to be any quicker as it crosses it? Pepper Bagnaia then towards the line, jumps up from 17th to 8th with a 131.820 then on the time. So could be better, probably not. SHC says, well, that's a bit worrying. Well, at least they are able to fix it. Yeah. No, Bagnaia, don't worry, has not crashed out of the event. So all is good there. And by the way, if anybody was on MotoGP.com and found that the usual event riders stats weren't there, I've had to create my own. In the gap between the two sessions, I've had to create my own stats. But honestly, I promise you, I've just copied and pasted that bottom bit, top bit. I've had to create all these tables and write down all the stats. Big thank you as well. My brother and my mother helped out by reading the stats while I was typing them all in. So I just thought I would throw that out there because absolutely fantastic that we were able to create that in time and get them all printed off. because I had things like this, which was my riders' standings and all that lot. But I never had my actual stats. We thought they'd come on after FP3. They didn't, so all a bit of a worry. Now, Bastianini is good in the first two sectors by going red. It's, where's he going now? Across the line. 14th to, here he is now, Bastianini 14th to 6th. 131.519. If you're new here and don't know much about MotoGP practice, if you joined us live at Silverstone as well last time we did all of practice live, or you just watched the highlights we put in, we don't really explain much about what happens with the process. The first 3 practice sessions are combined together to give you a running order for Q1 and Q2. Free practice 4 is a half an hour free practice. No times matter. You just go out there, get your bike at the optimum zone for qualifying in the race, and start pushing hard to see where the limits are on the track and get yourself ready for qualifying. If we take a look, actually, quite a lot of people are actually doing race prep right now. Everyone's on the hard front. Quite a lot of them on the medium rear too, but Marco Bezzecchi's on soft rear, along with Alex Marquez, Maverick Vinales, Johan Mir, and Takiki Nakagami. They are all on soft rear tyres at the moment. And Miguel Oliveira, Quadraro's had his lap time cancelled for track limits. So Quadraro, that might flash up in a second on our control monitor. But Quadraro, there it is. Quadraro track limits warning. There you go. 43's had one done too. That's Jack Miller as Oliveira crosses the line to go fastest to 1:37.62 on the board then. As Zarco goes second, Martin goes third, Miller fourth at the moment as well. Lap time cancelled for the 20. There we go for Fabio Quadraro due to track limits. So the lap time is beginning to get cancelled down now as well. Here's Marc Marquez, the 29-year-old, born in Sevilla in Spain. It's his home Grand Prix, 153 Grand Prix starts as well. 100 MotoGP podiums as well. Hasn't had 60 Grand Prix win yet after last time out. Mark flashing hard into the braking zone now. This is coming, I think, through turns 9 and 10 as well. Before turn 11, then a kick at 12 and Champi Hermanos as well. Yep, and now we run round turns 13 and 14 as well. Last corner here, the Adrian Campos had to stand up there because the laptop with the camera is covering the driver tracker map we've got. So we need to get that sort of moved over, I think. Across the line we go then. Is it quicker or is it not for Marc Marquez? He goes 8th, 1:31.431 as well. Quartararo might actually finally get a lap time involved in this session shortly. He's finding some pace. He's 5/10 down. What's happened to Fabi? Quartararo was so fast in practice 1 and 2. He made it comfortably into Q2. It was Bagnaia who had more time to find. Lap time cancelled for the 44 of Pol Espargaro due to exceeding track limits. Quartararo approaches the line now. Goes 12th. 1:31.520. Marini behind him goes third. 1:31.096. The 23 runners so far by Raul Fernandez, who is still in the pit lane after his FP3 crash, has done a 1.5 seconds, splitting them all at the moment. And we've got a... oh, hello. News has just broken right here now live for practice. Takiki Nakagami has been given a 3-place grid penalty after he was observed to be riding slowly on the racing line and disturbed rider 89, that's Jorge Martin, at turn 11. So Nakagami, in his first race back, has a 3-place grid penalty for the race. Field closing up. Let's cross over for a couple of minutes then to BT.
Go on, if you do that, we are world champions. Come what may. Just had an email come through, chaps. Nakagami, we already knew, was getting a 3-place grid penalty for the race. That was
what
for
more
riding
then,
slow,
Gav?
in front of Quartararo. Was it Quartararo this morning anyway? Marco Bezzecchi's had €1,000 fine for pushing the marshal earlier.
Right, so that was appalling, actually.
Oh yeah, Bezzecchi
really
pushing the marshal this morning.
Marco Bezzecchi, he's had a huge crash, and I'm sure he was full of adrenaline. I'm sure he was, but then the marshal ran over to put his bike out, and he was so almost violent with the marshal. It was appalling.
Did we have something like that early on in the year? Was it Rins?
Yeah, that's right.
Pushed the marshal somewhere, didn't he? And he went and apologised.
Yeah,
he gave the helmet to the marshal.
I think it was in Misano, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Where I think Rins said that the marshal grabbed hold of him so violently his airbag went off. I think that's what it was. And then Rins was, he sorted that out. He actually dealt with that very well, I thought, afterwards, going around to apologise.
And I'm sure Bezzecchi will do this.
Yeah, Bezzecchi's such a good guy as well.
He's a really nice lad.
Weird to watch. But yeah, and rightly so. A fine for that.
He'd taken a real.
I'd like to see a bigger fine, and I'd like it to go to charity, to be honest. But anyway,
I think they do.
Probably will do, actually. I think it does, doesn't it?
Yeah, they will.
Looks like they do. So thanks for that then, Gav. And guys as well, let's take another look at the timing screens at the moment then with our battle computer that usually works but never really does. I don't know why it doesn't, but still. This is Oliveira then got top with a 1:37.62. Zarco, Marini, Quartararo, Alicia Spargo all starting to come through on the timings then. And just, to be honest with you, they're starting to have a lot of fun. And that's what I like about it. They're starting to enjoy themselves a little bit much out there. And that's, I think, what we sort of need in motorsport. A lot of fun and everyone to sort of go, why not? It's motorsport. That's how we like to see it.
He's no to fit. As you can see, he's on the lap.
Well, Quartararo is coming across the line, goes second with a 1:30.996, 2/10 off the pace there as well. So optimum time there from Fabio Quartararo. Miguel Oliveira is on a good lap time here, 94 thousandths of a second off the pace. Can he find some time coming out the last couple of corners? Pushing hard, booting it hard, through turn 7 and 8 then, into the braking zone as well. Hard, 90 kilometers an hour, second gear corner, loops back round, then 9 and 10. Come on up on you really, really fast as well. Looking good, usually is good. Yeah, Marco Bezzecchi has been given an additional warning as well. This is the email that's just come in. Marco Bezzecchi has been given an official warning in addition to a fine of €1,000 after he was observed making a physical contact with the marshal in an aggressive and unprofessional manner as well. So we'll keep an eye on that as well. And anything else that pops up during the session, we'll let you know. And hopefully you might see it on the tweet deck just alongside. Is that my arm also breaking through the tweet deck? It is. There it is. That's weird how it works out. You'll see it on the tweet deck here alongside us. That's the magic of green screen, everybody. See? There you go. It's magic. As they continue to push through as well. What's that line? Cautiously, wildly accelerating. Ralph Fernandez went to hospital for a further check. So that's Ralph Fernandez not taking part in practice 3, probably not taking part in qualifying either, coming up shortly. So if Ralph Fernandez is declared fit, we'll have that information in the warm-up session tomorrow. But either way, Fernandez will start 24th on this grid then for the Valencia Grand Prix if it actually goes ahead. Right, lap time's on there. We're halfway through this MotoGP free practice 4. And for a couple of minutes once again, we're sharing the duties with practice this weekend with BT, with no one else in the box. But Megan will be with us for quali. Let's head back over to the guys.
At the end of this season, what day you've got? So Jack Miller moving on to the KTM. Oliveira going as well the other way to go to Aprilia, Bastianini on the factory bike, so on and so forth. Alex Marquez on the Gresini Ducati. I'm excited about seeing that, actually.
I always get excited about this. I don't know if anybody else does. I love seeing the test levels and stuff, test livery, you know, like what it all looks like.
The matte black or the sponsorless.
Yeah, you know, and some riders that like have a more of their personality being their leather design or something. Matching boots. And
I've always loved all that.
Yeah.
I love a matte black or carbon bike. I love the definitely a bit of stealth in the bike, but then the riders can add their flair with their helmets and their boots and gloves and leather suits and just show a little bit of their character. It's always looks cool.
Rossi was always the king. He had some lovely pre-season sort of designs. Also, Maverick Viñales usually gets it right. He'll have a trick helmet and something cool.
You see the gloves here for Fabio Quartararo, designed by a pal of his, an artist friend. Special for this weekend.
I don't think you needed a special artist to design them. I reckon I could have done that, Gav.
All right, well,
I'm just saying.
I'll tell Fabio.
Yeah.
And he'll tell his.
Well, look at it. I mean, come on. It's not like, wow, look at how did he come up with that unique design? Put a bit of some white lines on it.
The Hodgson collection will be out in Milan at the end of the year.
Naomi Campbell is
Basically,
in the catwalk.
The child-sized small T-shirts. As Tasmir Kenzie quite rightly pointed out. There is Ika Lecuona down in the Repsol Honda garage, of course. Honda rider now in World Superbike and doing a good job of it, actually. I have to say, another one who it felt got let go by KTM just as his career was getting going at a young age.
Super talented, like you said, doing a great job in World Superbikes, and absolutely a rider that I think could do big things in MotoGP, and will still have an opportunity too, because he's young enough to bounce back into this championship. But yeah, very impressive on the Honda in World Superbikes. I mean, the Honda's made a big step this year in World Superbikes, but
how much of that is down to the bike? How much down to the riders?
I'd say 50-50, wouldn't you? Really, you'd credit both sides of that. Leon Camus doing a fantastic job there as team manager, doing I think what we all expected when we were. It was a surprise announcement that he was going in that direction as team manager. But anyone who knows Leon, like we all do here in this commentary box, know that he's a pretty smart chap.
He is that.
And a grafter and a winner.
Well, similar to this man here who's grafted this weekend. I've been so impressed, Michael, since lap 1 yesterday. When he said,
Quartararo, yeah.
He has laid his cards out on the table, hasn't he, from the off?
Yeah, first lap's of free practice 1, you could tell Fabio's plan was to just get the maximum out of this bike and package around this racetrack. They did start in Sepang to maybe evaluate some different ways of working throughout practice and the base setup that they haven't really adjusted too much through the season. They had to look for more, so I think his approach this weekend around this little track is there's not too many straights where we're going to get annihilated by Ducati. The front straight is obviously the obvious one, but he's making it work around the infield, so he's good in terms of race pace and he's grafting at it.
Big moments for you during the season, lads? What would you say are the standout moments from Quartararo and Bagnaya's years? A key point.
Yeah, the key point for me was Assen. It was
Assen
coming off the back of Sachsenring, the championship. Literally, I'm thinking, it's going to be pretty boring. It's sort of over.
It sort of died, didn't it?
Quartararo's got this again. He's going to be, double world champion. No one's going to lay a glove on him. And we got to Assen, which is where he'd won the year before. We know the Yamaha works well there. It's this man's favourite track. He loves the place. Qualified on. Did he qualify on pole?
The second. Sorry, but behind Bagnaia on pole.
Yeah, qualified on the front row. But race pace, he was going to win. He made a mistake. It was the first mistake we'd probably seen him do. Ran into Aleix Espargaro, crashed. Obviously lost 25 points. Also picked up a penalty because of that, the contact with Aleix. And that was it. You literally look at I've got the championship standards in front of me, and from that point on, it all changed. All the momentum then just switched. So it was a little bit like the Edwards-Bailey season of 2002 in World Superbikes, that famous season.
Interestingly, it was Aleix Espargaro, wasn't it, that was in the mix then? But Fabio was already saying, even then, he talked about it here on Thursday when he having the media day. Paul Espargaro's having a look across here at Marc Marquez.
Never been teammates, them two, have they?
No, they haven't, and Paul's really getting involved. Just to go back to Neil's point here, because I find it fascinating. I've got the standings in front of me as well. If you take a look, actually, from Assen, Fabio Quartararo, Qatar, 7 points. Indonesia, 20. 18 Argentina. 9 in America. 25 in Portugal. 20 Spain. 13 France. 20 Italy. 25 in Catalonia and Germany. As soon as he had that race in the Netherlands when he crashed out twice, remember, Quartararo, a DNF. 25 points, Bagnaia. 4 races running. Bagnaia took everything in the championship, and during that time, 8 points for Quartararo, second in Austria, that was a good one, 11 points in San Marino, but then we got to Aragon, and then the flyaway started, and then it got miserable. Crashed out in Aragon, no points on the opening lap after contact with Marc Marquez. Then in Japan, 8 points after Bagnaia was right behind him, but crashed out at the end of the race. Thailand, 16 points Bagnaia, no points Quartararo with that wet race. Australia, 16 points again for Bagnaia. Quartararo crashed out again, no points. He crashed out twice actually as well during that Grand Prix. Malaysia, 25 points for Bagnaia, third in the race. Quartararo, 16 points. Barely scoring. In the last, actually, only good race in the last 5 races was Malaysia with a third. and that was his first podium since Austria. That's how insane the decline has been for Fabio Quartararo. It is absolutely insane. So Neil's got it right. Davide Tardozzi there watching on as well with his 95 beats per minute on his heart monitor as well. Looking a little bit scared and nervous, I would say. But honestly, it's just such a bizarre drop for Fabio Quartararo. And Bagnaia has been so consistent from 96 points down to 23 in the lead. Amazing. Back to BT for a while.
The aero and the do calm them down a little bit. It's physical. The aero makes them hard to change. You're squeezing the brakes. You've no rest. You're nervous. You're tense. Arm pump could
Yeah,
not be the one.
you're not breathing properly. That's one of the causes. You start holding your breath a little bit. Yeah, and once it starts, arm pump, once that forearm starts to fill with blood and you start to lose like almost a fast twitch muscles and feeling that you get from your hand, as the arm pump starts to set in, there is nothing you can do. It gets worse.
And then bang, Miguel Oliveira's through you.
Oh yeah,
Brad Binder's suddenly gone, all right, thank you very much.
Over the top of you.
Bang. Alexia Spargo has also decided, I'll have a bit of this.
Vinales has passed you, Rins has passed you.
Cal Crutchlow and Frankie Morbidelli trying to do something
On a massive bonus if they do get in front of him. Yeah, this is all reality. And then, though, and I know we touched on it in FP3, then Ducati pull out the black box. It comes from underneath. We have not seen it at one point all season. The music, the garage doors come down.
Bit of dry ice.
Dry ice. And the big red button. And all the Ducatis power down. And like Gav said, I've got to say, Gav, respect. I was listening to you in free practice 3 saying, I'll tell you what, if Ducati ordered their riders to literally roll the throttle en masse at the end of a race to let Pecco pass, you're selling your Ducati. I'm on your side with that, and I'm a bit of a Ducati man through and through. Obviously, we've run for the manufacturer for many years. It would be not good to watch for our sport, for them to win a title by literally on a last lap or last couple of laps, 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 riders potentially letting a rider through.
I mean, I don't think it's going to happen.
I don't think it's going to happen.
I wouldn't have thought it was going to happen.
But this man has the box. I have the box, I have designed the box, and I will use the box.
And it's a well-designed box. It's a lovely box.
It's a lovely
lovely
box.
opening action.
They didn't used to have the box, but then Lorenzo rode for them. And Lorenzo didn't listen. So he went, I will create the box. You've got to deal with the facts, Gav. We know that box is there. It's there. Oh, dear.
I mean, it's one of those things, it's a bit of a Schrodinger's box. You don't know if it exists, but it definitely does exist all at the same time, doesn't it?
Everyone's picturing the box now. I'm picturing what it looks like. It's Matt Carbon, isn't it?
I think so, yeah. It's racing. Here's Swamier, nice helmet design for him with the Japanese flag on top for Suzuki's last race.
Got a yellow flag, sector 3 and 4. What's up now? That would be 9 and 10, wouldn't it? If it's in that braking spot. Yeah, it's 9 and 10. And I presume it's a crash coming out of 9 into 10. It has gone straight off into the barrier, like what we saw earlier on in the session. Trying to work out who it is. Sectors 3 and 4. Who hasn't gone past that braking point? I think it's Darren Binder. Oh, yellow sectors 2, 3 and 4. Someone's off at turn 6 now as well. So who's in sector 2 hasn't completed anything else? Oh, there's one. It's Darren Binder who has crashed out. That's at turn 9 and 10, I believe. So that is 9 and 10. That is Binder's crash. But anywhere else sector 2, trying to see who stopped. Marc Marquez? No, lap time cancel for the 43. Remy Gardner has crashed out at turn 6. There he is on the KTM. So Binder's crashed, Gardner's crashed. Yellow's now in sectors 3 and 4 only. So turn 9 and 10 is getting a little bit sideways there. As they fly back through. 4 minutes to go in this final practice session of the 2021-2022 MotoGP season. Lap time cancel for the 41 as well as Aleix Espargaro due to the yellow flags. So, final part of free practice. This is going to be a weird one. It's the day of last, isn't it? It's last days of term coming up, last qualifying of the year coming up as well shortly. It's a weird time in MotoGP. and everybody starts to feel just that little bit different. Simon Patterson actually just put a tweet out about an hour ago saying the amount of people he said this weekend are saying that they're not going to be here next season because the length of the calendar, getting to 22 races, another 22 sprint races as well as a 44 Grand Prix effectively across the season. It's insane as the 49 gets a lap time deleted for Fabio Di Giannantonio. It is such an insane season. 30 as well, Nakagami's had his lap time deleted. Somebody else flashing by the monitor too quickly there. So many people saying that that's it, they've had enough of MotoGP, just this controversial format change that's coming in for next season. I do think next year is make or break for MotoGP. I don't think the sprint races are going to work. I think by the time we get to round 4 or 5, sprint races could be dropped. I don't know if we can change the format like that or we need to sort of keep it as it is. But Formula 1 changed the qualifying format after, so I don't see why we can't get rid of the sprint races. Or if it's not that easy, because Formula 1 has the sprint races at 3 races now, 6 races next year. It's madness. We don't need sprint races. But people enjoy... The one problem I've always had with MotoGP, as the yellow flag gets withdrawn, I've said it, it's the fact that it has too many practice sessions. We don't need 4 practice sessions plus a warm-up. That's 5 practice sessions. Then we get a quali, then we get a race. That's 7 sessions. We don't need all that. No way. We need 3 practices, a qualifying and a race. Maybe not even 3 practices. We need 2 practice sessions, a qualifying, a warm-up and a race. That's it. That's all we need. Don't need free practice 3, don't need free practice 4. I know they've got rid of it with added the sprint race. It just doesn't make sense. 2 minutes to go then. Let's say a final word to BT for this weekend because me and Meg are going to be taking through qualifying.
A lot of work to do over the winter, working with the squad to get the bike where it is. Heading into next year, he'll have an extra couple of days before the start of the season. What I want to say was, he's in 17th. He is 6/10 off. It is so tight that Bagnaia can't afford to be, as he's been all weekend, 2 or 3 tenths off things. Because, just as we've said, if you start riding a little bit tight, as the championship gets a bit closer, then other riders have the pace to get past you and stay in front of you. 10th in this session for Bagnaia. But down to Rins. Rins will have a chance this weekend. But down to Rins, separated by 3/4 of a second.
But let's take this as an example. So Bagnaia is 10th in this session. Yeah, you're absolutely true. But look who's behind him. So he's got Aleix Spargo right behind him. So if you're in a race situation, you're riding a bit tense. Behind Aleix Spargo is Ane Bastianini. Then behind Bastianini, you've got Bezzecchi. So Bezzecchi ain't going to pass him. But then you've got Maverick Vinales. Obviously got the chance to pass him. Pass him. Then you've got Marc Marquez, who you don't even need to mention that because you know what's going to happen. And then you've got 2 Yamahas of Morbidelli and Crutchlow who will do anything. So, lots to look forward to, lots to be excited about. But the next half an hour is going to be really important to what we see happen tomorrow in the race. Qualifying's coming up.
Raul Fernandez has not been declared fit, I've been told, after his medical check. So, Raul Fernandez... I don't think he'll be taking part in qualifying though, because he can't get back to the pit lane quick enough. 3, 2, 1, and that's it. Practice is over for 2022. Every session done and dusted. Wow, that is weird. Raul Fernandez has been declared fit after his latest medical check at the hospital. So I don't know if that means he can get back to the track in time for qualifying. He's in Group 1. It's underway in 10 minutes time. Megan's just walked into the commentary box right on time. Do you want to take a seat quick? And we're just at the end of practice 4 at the moment. Qualifying starts in about 10 minutes time, so Megan will come in, take a microphone and say hello. Hi Megs, you alright?
Yeah.
Weird, isn't it? Practice live from MotoGP. Qualifying will be live next year though.
It's very weird.
But it's good. Welcome to the commentary box. First time this weekend. You can have this chair in a minute as we switch over for the sessions. Bagnaia there, 11th. And Quartararo 2nd. Quartararo's been on it all weekend long. Bagnaia hasn't, in many respects.
Very could that change in a race?
Easily.
Could even change in quali.
Easily could change in quali. We're just waiting. Qualifying's underway at 1:10. Our pre-show starts as soon as we finish this show. However, we'll be handing down to Susie Perry, then me and Megs will be up in the comm box talking. We can either sit down like this for the quali, or we can stand up. It's up to you.
I have been standing a lot of the week.
Do you want to sit down then? All right, we'll sit down for Q1.
Whether it's in this chair or that chair.
How about sit down Q1, then you can have the nice comfy chair Q2 and I'll stand. Makes more sense? Yeah.
You can stand or sit however you like.
All right, well, the session is now fully concluded, so let's take a look then at the times from the free practice 4 session. Miguel Oliveira tops the session with a 1:37.62. Fabio Quartararo second, Jorge Martin third, Paulo Spargo fourth, Johan Zarco fifth, Luca Marini is sixth, Jack Miller seventh, Johan Mir eighth, Brad Binder ninth, Maverick Vinales rounds out the top 10. Pepper Bagnaia 11th, Alicia Spargos 12th, Anea Bashini 13th, Marco Bezzecchi 14th, Marc Marquez 15th, Franco Morbidelli 16th, Kyle Crutchlow 17th, Alex Marquez 18th, Alex Rins 19th, Takiki Nakagami is 20th, Fabio Di Giannantonio 21st, Remy Gard 22nd, Dan Bitter 23rd, and Ralph Fernandez taking no part after his accident this morning. He's just getting back from hospital but has been declared fit for the race. So that's it then for free practice 4. Stay right where you are. We're going to end this one and then we'll be live straight after with qualifying. So go to the YouTube page and load up qualifying. It's live directly next.